They wonder why I play my piano.
Yo, what's up people? I'm Trey, sole proprietor of Alro Studios, and today I'm starting a personal video vlog about my introduction into a piano class. Taking a piano class at a community college to learn how to play. I heard it's essential for any real producer or composer to know how to play the piano, and I don't know a thing about it. So I've enrolled myself in this class, and I'm going to be starting these videos every Wednesday and Friday, telling about my progression through the class, and maybe also helping other people out there who want to learn how to play the piano or is interested in learning how to play the piano. So if you want to watch me go through this journey, go ahead and subscribe below in the description and stay tuned, because there's definitely more to come. It's another beautiful day in Houston. Today is Wednesday, September 25th, 2013. And I'm bringing you my first vlog. The class actually started up yesterday, and I actually ended up a little late, but it's the first class, so everybody's entitled to be late on the first class. Met the instructor. He seems like a pretty cool guy, foreigner. Don't really know where he's from, maybe from France or something like that. His accent is pretty strong, but I can still kind of make out what he's saying. And he told us what book to get. It's called the Progressive Class Piano 2nd Edition, written by Elmer Hermaway. It doesn't matter. I'll bring you the book and show you next week what the book is. And he also recommended a keyboard for us to have for our practicing purposes. Now, the instructor actually recommended a Yamaha 76 key semi-weighted keyboard. And what I have here is actually not a Yamaha. It's an M-Audio 61 key MIDI controller. And I'm going to talk about why I actually chose this keyboard as opposed to what he actually recommended later on. We also talked about how to read music, how to tell which key, how to tell, like, just put a finger on it, just put a finger on the C key. The C key is your main key, and from there on you actually go off from the C key and figure out what the rest of the keys are. And we also discussed the full piano, which is 88 keys, 52 white and 36 black. Also about how sound wave is measured in hertz, and 1 hertz is equal to a cycle per second. So that means the low keys, which are the leftmost keys on the keyboard, would have a, like if you actually look at their wave format, they would have less, okay, so my physics is kind of bad, but there will be less full waves on the lower side and a lot more full waves on the higher side. I gotta remember that term. That's just the science of it. Not really important for playing applications. All right. So then he gave us our first assignment, which is basically he's going to point at a key, a random key on the keyboard, and we should know exactly what that key is right off the top of our head. No second guessing, no minute to think about it, just know it. So I'm actually trying to learn that right now. Get all the keys on the keyboard down by heart. And then finally we discussed the different type of notes you'll see on the music sheet. We have the whole note, which is a circle, a hollow circle, and it's 4 beats, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we have the half note, which is also a hollow circle with a stem on top. That is 2 beats, 1, 2. Then we have the quarter note, which is just like the half note, but it's actually darkened in the inside of the circle, and that is 1 beat, 1. And then we talked about the meaning of dots after a note. A dot actually means that you are adding half of the note's value onto the note. So for instance, you put back up this half note, which is 2 beats, and then we put a dot after it, it actually becomes 3 beats, because you got two beats, and then 50% of 2 is 1 beat. So and you add that on, so that's 3 beats. So for instance, a whole note with a dot on it would be 6 beats, because a whole note is 4 beats, and half of 4 is 2, and 2 plus 4 is 6. and that's how that works. Before we left, we also looked at the music sheet and talked about the bar lines and how they're used to measure the bars in music, and the double bar line, which signifies the end of the song, and then the two dots in front of that means repeat. So we repeat that whole section again. And that's basically all we discussed today in class. And I'm going to go ahead and talk about this keyboard that I purchased yesterday. So I did some research online and ran into this baby right here, the M-Audio Keystation 61ES. And the reason I chose this keyboard because it was affordable, and they are semi-weighted keys. They're not light keys, which is what you'll find on the entry-level Yamaha or Casio keyboard. And I actually just learned this in class, but the pianos that we're using in the classroom are digital pianos, and the keys are full weighted, which means it'll be the full, like the weight of the keys will be like a full piano. So he recommended at least a semi-weighted keyboard, which will give you kind of the same feel as the full weighted keyboard, but not quite. But the lightweighted is definitely not recommended, because if you actually go into class with the same skills you practice at home on a light keyboard, it may not work out too well for you, because the keys will be harder to press down and your music may not be heard, may not come out the same way. So this was one of the cheapest semi-weighted keyboards I could find. And it was 61 keys, not 76 like he told me. But this keyboard also features an octave plus or an octave minus button, which allows you to either, add a whole nother octave onto this keyboard right here, a whole nother higher octave on this side, or a whole lower side on this side. So for instance, I hit the higher button, and I hit the octave plus button, and now these keys are even higher than they were before. And one more reason I chose this keyboard besides that, because I heard it was really easy and compatible to Windows 7 and Windows 8, which is what I'm going to be using on my computer right here. And it's really simple to plug it up and start messing around with it and playing. You do need an outlet device. It doesn't have any speakers, and I believe that's how all MIDI controller keyboards operate. I'm not really sure yet. And by the end of the class, I'm going to go ahead and give my full review on this keyboard. I actually got it at Guitar Center for $135. It retails for $169.99, but as you may or may not know, Guitar Center matches price. So you just go up to Guitar Center, have them recommend something for you, and then you look it up on your phone right there in the store, and you show them, hey, I found it cheaper at a different retailer, and then they'll go ahead and lower the price right there in the store. So that is really cool stuff, and at the price I bought this keyboard, even if it doesn't work out, I'm maybe inapt at learning the keyboard and learning the piano, and I'm no good, and I want to sell this thing. I can sell it for the same price I bought it as, because it's still a good deal to sell it. It's still a good deal. I'm also going to place a link in the description below for this keyboard and all the specs and the retail price and all that good stuff if you want to actually check that out for yourself. So that about sums up everything we talked about. And if you like what you saw, you want to see what happens with me next week, go ahead and subscribe below and favorite, comment below and all that good stuff. Alright, see you.